Ladies and gents, no webcam today, but we do have an Arteta false 9 to take a look at. So let's just jump on in. So this is a tactic created by Stinger, a tactic replication of Arteta's Arsenal using Trossard as the false 9. He does have a video on YouTube right now with results and tips and tricks for the tactic. You can find that link on the Steam Workshop, which is linked down below in the description. But you do start out with a sweeper keeper in defend, inverted wingback in support on the left, a fullback in support on the right, ball playing defenders in central spots defending, Segundo Volante in support on the left, a ball-winning midfielder in defend on the right, inside forward in attack on the left, inverted winger in attack on the right, advanced playmaker in support, and then a false 9 in support up front. It is a positive mentality. In possession, attacking width is fairly wide, approach play is pass into space, play out of defense, passing directness is shorter, tempo is higher, low crosses, work the ball in the box, and run at defense. And then in transition, counter press, counter, distribute quickly, and out of possession, a high press line of engagement, a standard defensive line, trigger press much more often, prevent short goalkeeper distribution, and get stuck in. Now, how did it go for our three teams? Actually not too bad for Tottenham. Wolves either. I mean, Tottenham with 74 points, definitely above average, but look at that last 5. The form is just awful. But Wolves, 56 points. Okay, that's actually pretty much bang on average. 8th place, though, 55 for Newcastle. Definitely, I would say below, not a horrible amount below, but still below, I would imagine. But still, again, as I always say, it all depends on how the other teams do. You can see Liverpool and Manchester City cruising, but everyone else just really falling apart. You could see 40 points is what got Aston Villa to be just above relegation. But Newcastle with 55, Wolves with 56, not great. Tottenham, though, with 74, definitely a good showing. Tottenham starting off the campaign, not all that great. August is kind of woeful. 2 wins, 2 losses, and a draw. But then a sea of points up until Wolves match 2-5 loss away from home. And then another sea of points heading into the World Cup. EFL 4th round, you're out against Manchester United immediately after the World Cup 1-3. FA Cup, you continue on Champions League round of 16 against Inter. You continue on there. FA Cup, you're still going strong. Champions against Real Madrid. Wow. 2-0 at home, 1-0 away loss. But still continuing on until we get to Bayern. Nope. Continuing on against Bayern. Wow. FA Cup final win against Aston Villa in extras 1-0 and Liverpool loss. We've seen that time and time again. Champions League final loss. Unfortunate. But hey, I mean, you're still in Champions League next season. And you've got an actual trophy. FA Cup is a big trophy. Even though it's not as big as the Champions League, you should still be proud. Wolves' schedule is awful to start out with. EFL Cup 2nd round, you're out immediately against Leeds. You do have a sea of points here, but then you get some losses. It's just an average schedule for them. FA Cup 3rd round, you're in, but 4th round, you're out against Tottenham 0-2. And I mean, you can't even say you finished off the season strong. Newcastle doing a bit better, can still not get a win against Liverpool though, but a nice sea of points all the way through the end of September into the beginning of October, but then just woeful from that point. The rest of October is awful. I mean, you're continuing on the EFL Cup. You have a nice win against Nottingham Forest in November. But you start out the season continuing EFL Cup. EFL Cup quarters is where you drop out to Manchester United, 1-2. FA Cup, 3rd round replay, you're through, but the 4th round, you are not against Arsenal, 1-2. 3 wins, and then wow. You do finish out strong, though. You do have a loss against Wolves, which is not great, but 6 matches in a row with points. Not too bad, I guess. Transfer-wise, Shutalo, Ivanushek, and Leonardo, all to Tottenham, and then out, same as always. Wolves transfers, nobody brought in, and nobody really, well, I mean, Diego Costa is out, Lembikisa is out. We've seen those before. Newcastle has brought a couple new faces, but we've seen most of them. Tony Weston, Scott, Almada, Kennedy, Nelson, and Barrios. Barrios being the big one right there, as is Almada, and then outs, same as always. So with those transfers in, this is how Tottenham's squad looks. Fraser Forster, 7-5-0, very nice. How many matches? 1 appearance. Never mind. Wolves squad, I mean, they've got some green, but Cunha not there. Kalajic, Traore, no, Sarabia, really not a lot. Traore's 713, but everyone else not really doing all that well. Newcastle, 738 for Jamal Lewis. Two starts, 12 off the bench though. But man, maybe he should have started a lot more. But Alexander Isaac at a 705, not great. Data Hub for Tottenham, very good defensively, even better in attack. You could see not high numbers in attack, but I mean, they're all above Premier League average, minus maybe shot percentage. But still, team defending doing very well. Some not great, but you know, you'll take what you can get. Wolves extremely shaky defensively, as you can see, and very good in attack still. I mean, dribbles per game is fantastic. It looks like it's tops of the league. Newcastle, quite decent defensively, very good in attack. But again, with some of these odd shape and attacking sort of tactics, you do get the good attacking, you do get some good runs. It's kind of one of those tactics that I've said, if you've got a lot of attackers up front, and even if your defense is kind of shaky, or just decent or thereabouts, it doesn't have to be very good at all, you're still getting up there in the table. Now, granted, Wolves and Newcastle are 56 and 55 points apiece, but still, 6th and 8th in the table is not a bad positioning right now. Most goals, you do have Tottenham, Wolves, and Newcastle, 56 all the way up to 66. So again, the attacking side is there. Fewest shots against. Tottenham is the only one defensively. Most possession, Tottenham. Dribbles made, all three teams. Wolves, I mean, finally we're getting dribbling tactics, which we have not seen in a long time. But 876 all the way down. Man City is 769. Brighton is 734. So that's a very good dribbling tactic right there. Tottenham with fewest conceded and most shutouts. Most tackles won, all three teams, so you're actually getting some defensive side. Again, this tactic was somewhat decent in defense on two of the three teams at least. No pass completion. Most shots for all three teams down to 4th through 6th, and then most points per. Most goals, nobody. I mean, again, this wasn't very well done on the attacking side in terms of the goals scored. But most assists, Pedro Porro is there, Nunes is there. Most player of the match, Kane and Traore. I mean, you get a lot of these attacking numbers in a lot of these tactics that we're just not seeing a lot today. Even though it does say that they're very good in attack, they just aren't getting the goals. They aren't getting the assists. So, I mean, hence 55 and 56 points for Newcastle and Wolves. But most dribbles made, you've got several players there. Fewest conceded, Lloris, who sticks around this time around. Most tackles won, Trippier and Traore. Key passes, Trippier and Sarabia, as you generally always see. 110, though, and 106, so pretty high up there. Most shots, Traore and Neves. And then finishing out, as we always do, Tottenham, Harry Kane with 28 goals in all competitions. Danjuma with 7-11 highest average rating. Porro with 17 assists. Kane and Danjuma with 8 Player of the Match awards, so that's not too bad. Wolves, Traore with 12 goals is the top man. 7-13 highest average rating. Nunes with 11 assists. And then Traore again with 5 Player of the Match awards. Newcastle, 17 goals for St. Maximin. Alexander Isaac, like we said, with it's only a 705 highest average rating. Trippier, 9 assists. And Miguel Almiron with 5 Player of the Match awards. And he just came in halfway through the season. But overall, this tactic, I mean, it didn't seem to do all that well for our three teams. Again, nothing against the tactic. This is just with the sim that I used. But it just didn't work here. So anyway, take that for what you will. Use the data hub. That is a much better indication of how the tactic may work with you and your players. Use your players as strengths. Use your tactic as strength. Yeah, but that's it. So that's it for me, Seffian FM, for the Football Manager blog channel, saying thank you as always for watching. Take care and enjoy.